It's the rest day here in the Kalahari, and we've had some very interesting things happening yesterday. As you saw, things were getting pretty hot about 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon, and we went into the evening. Fortunately, after the early retirements, everybody got through that was left in the day, and they're all in camp. And before we get into what happened at camp this afternoon, I'm going to introduce you to, once again, Fergus, who unfortunately retired yesterday morning, and we just want to get his side of the story. What happened?
I had a really bad day on day 3, Monday. Just about after 1k, I was just, all my energy was gone. I was just drained, and I just knew it was only going to go downhill from there. So it was just a case of, initially I was able to run the downhills, walk the uphills, and eventually I wasn't even actually able to walk the uphills.
It was very sudden though, because
yeah,
you really were up there in the front.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
you were in the top 3.
Well, I was running with Russell, and we were very comfortable. In fact, we were slowing each other down, and we were deliberately, like day 1 we were almost an hour slower than we were last year, and the same again day 2. So we had our policy of, like, it is much hotter. There's no two ways about it, and I think the course is a bit tougher. So I got the nausea, I got the headaches. When I got back to camp, then they put me on the drip. They took my blood pressure, and they just said, look, it's getting very low, far too low. And Alette says, look, I think we're going to have to pull you off the course. So she said, look, you know what you do, sleep on it, see what you think of it. But I didn't sleep, and then I got the nausea, then I got the empty retching, and then I got the whatever. I can't even remember at this stage. So it was like everything last year. And at least last year I had the long day done. You know, I had the rest day to recover, and I was able to run on the Thursday.
Yeah.
Whereas there's no way, I just thought there's no way I was going to get through yesterday.
It's not something you want to do, feeling 76 kilometers when you're not 77 kilometers when you're not feeling great.
Well, it took me 9.5 hours to do 40. You know, you'd walk the dog quicker than that, you know. But I was, strange thing, I was cramping. All my legs were cramping as well. Yeah. So again, I was thinking, there's no point in going out and be out at mile 40 or kilometre or 50 and have the crews out looking for me if I'm cramping on the side of the, you know, it just wasn't worth it.
Fergus, thank you very much for coming and telling us your experience out in the Kalahari, and yeah, hopefully we'll see you back sometime. Well, the day went on, and there were a lot of things that happened. Dallas, just talk us through the rest of the day and what went down, because there was a couple of shifts, not shifts in position, but the gaps were closing in certain places between certain runners.
Yeah, Simon. So for me, the biggest closing gap was John Williamson and I think it's David. There's a 16-minute gap there, and I think, you know, John's just going to either sit in David's pocket and run with him for the 50k day, or David has to make a move and John has to go with him.
But they're going to start together on tomorrow.
Yeah, they're starting together. Yeah. So that's why I'm saying John's move is to sit in the pocket and wait for him, or David's got to go and try and
challenge him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Another thing about John Williamson is he's run 5, but he's never been near the podium.
No, and he finds himself in a really interesting position. He's in 3rd, and if I know John well, he's not going to let that 3rd go.
Yeah.
So he's got some work to do, just holding on to 3rd.
Yeah. But with that 16 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, take it easy so I can finish fast. Hopefully.
You think you might gas it a bit later?
No, it's just lots of uphills, eh? The whole start is just uphills. So I'm walking the uphills.
But it's a 50k day, so it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, 50k.
Because a lot can happen in 50k's.
A 50k day on the back of a rest day, which is very hot today. Yeah. And yesterday it wasn't the hottest day we've had, but it was hard. It was tough.
Temperatures are rising at the moment.
Yeah, they're on the up, which is on the long-term forecast. It was meant to sort of peter off towards the end of the race, but it seems like it's done the opposite, and it's increasing again.
Yeah. In the ladies, although Erica's trying to get back there, it looks like Helen at the moment has got it in the can. If she keeps on doing what she's doing, I don't think there's much chance that Erica can catch her.
Yeah, I think it's Helen's race to lose. Erica's got to find something really special deep down inside of her to claw back. We're talking about an hour and a half.
Yeah, it's about
if I'm not
35,
mistaken.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's either one or two things. Helen blows, and Erica just keeps on doing what she's doing, or Erica puts in a massive effort and hauls in an hour and a half over. What have we got left?
50 plus 23.
That's right.
Yeah.
So still, they're close to home, but tomorrow is I think this year is going to be the hardest day.
It's going to be the toughest because the temperatures are there.
Absolutely.
The distance is there.
The distance is there.
And they're tired.
Yeah. And especially for the back markers. I mean, we always talk about the front guys. The guys at the back had almost, some of them were on their feet for over 24 hours yesterday.
Yeah.
To have a rest day and then do a 50k tomorrow, I don't know. You've got to have a serious mental attitude towards tomorrow.
Yeah.
No. The feet are sore, the body's sore, the mind's tired. It's all about just putting one foot in front of the next and just chewing it.
Yeah. So then, in third place, we've got Bella, but she's not going to catch anybody.
No.
She's way too far behind the two leaders.
Just having a little 10-minute breather here, and then just getting ready for the sun to go down. Yeah. Looking forward to that, and then just getting off into the night and hopefully get in by about maybe 11 o'clock or so.
And then in tied fourth place, we've got the Cowgirls.
Yes. Now, you know a little bit more about the Cowgirls,
well,
Simon.
They're running for Chalk. They're from Nottingham Road, I think, and they're running for Chalk, and they're very festive, and so they're running for an awesome cause, and they just seem to be cheerful all the time. Nothing seems to get them down, and yet I didn't put them in any sort of contentious position, and they're up there.
They've run every step together. They haven't left each other.
Yeah.
So
well done
big
to
up
them. Very big up. Yeah. And because this has been our 20th event, we had a special little occasion at the rest day today, where we gave a 50% discount to the runner in 20th position. And this was something which nobody really knew about. It was a surprise. So we went out there this morning and we went and chatted to them, and then we handed over a prize to Annie Dougal, she has completed no less than 7 of these events. And she said she's never coming back. Now we're giving her a 50% discount. So guess what? She's coming back. We also had a soft bar for them, just as a little treat. Of course, there were a couple of guys that said, no, this is KAEM's getting a little soft. But there was, trust me, they still didn't put those cold drinks down. They still had them, and they still enjoyed them.
You're chuffed.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
We were lucky enough to find Pierre Jonker, who unfortunately retired yesterday as well. You were out there, you were doing it. What went wrong?
Simon, I think 6 weeks leading up to it, I rolled over my left ankle and damaged a tendon, which I didn't manage properly, and there's some other issues. Started, and then I hurt it again day one. Pushed through, tried to get through, got to end of day 3. 3 phenomenally hot days. I think I speak under correction, but apparently some of the hottest days you guys have experienced in this event. And then morning of the 4th day, early morning, tried to eat something, started bringing everything up, couldn't keep anything in, got to checkpoint 2, spoke to Doc. She didn't say I must pull it, but you obviously make your own decisions. And I just thought, damage to the foot, limit that, and that was it.
Yeah. What was the most memorable thing for you now this year?
This year, and it's unfortunate to say it, but the drought. The terrible conditions out there, and what we saw. The animals struggling and the carcasses and stuff. But despite that, the 3 hot days. The people out there, the people running, and the crew enduring that heat and still with really good spirits.
Thanks very much. Thanks
Appreciate
for coming in. Tomorrow, 50 Ks. It's going to be a biggie. It's going to be hot. They reckon the temperatures are going to go well over 40 degrees. So, and I think the guys are tired as well. So let's see how they're all going to do. We're going to be kicking off tomorrow morning at 5:30 with an early start for the slow guys, and then moving through to about 8 o'clock for the fast guys. And but either way, it doesn't matter what time you're going to be starting. You're still going to be out there in the heat. You're still going to be having a hell of a day. So we'll let you know tomorrow night how it went. Cheers.